Hey, thank you so much for coming. I'm so glad you were able to meet with me today for
Of
some
course.
drinks.
Thank you for having me as your
Yeah,
first guest.
I know. So exciting. I haven't really had anybody come in, so setting up and everything was new to me. You see, like we have our lights and everything.
Yes, I love it. It's super cute in
So
here.
thank you.
Yeah.
So I wanted to bring you on to just kind of like get into how you got into your business and everything like that. It's definitely more common now, I feel like, for everyone to have their own little side hustle, but like I noticed you're like really dedicated to your business
Thank
and
you.
you have a cute, like unique style. And so to me, it stands out differently. So I'm like really interested to know how you got into it and everything
Yeah,
like that.
thank you. So that right there is my goal. I do try to, so I have a clothing boutique, Miss I Candy Boutique, and what I want it to be, or what it is, I should say, is unique clothing pieces. So
Mhm.
I try to stay away from basic pieces that you can find at Zara, Target,
Mhm.
Forever 21, wherever, Amazon, like
Yeah.
wherever you shop. Like, I don't want a basic piece. I want something that is a statement piece, a staple piece. So when people see the vision, I love it. So thank you, because a lot
Yeah.
of people are like, "Oh, these are crazy items." You know,
I
this
feel
looks
like
like I'm going to the
yeah, I
club.
feel like it's like the lady that stopped you in there. I feel like to
Yeah,
some people it's like out of their box, but your vision matches the girls that get it. Like, you know
right.
what I mean? Like if I know you, I can understand the style, so I'd be like, "Oh, I'm going to shop there cuz I want like the
That.
dress fits my style."
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
but there's people like outside that and they're just kind of like, "Oh, I just got this at like Fashion Nova or Shein or
Right,
whatever."
exactly. Okay, so you said the lady who stopped me, so I'm gonna like tell the
Yeah.
story. So we were just getting coffee right now, and this lady, I'm wearing red cowgirl boots, and she's like, "Oh, where'd you get your boots from?" So that kind of stemmed from how I started
Mhm.
my business, is
Mhm.
because I love to dress up. Like, I don't care about going out. I don't care about going to dinner. I don't care about getting drinks. Like, my favorite part of it is
Is
the
dressing
outfit.
up.
Yeah. So like that is literally like I love dressing up.
Yeah.
So this actually started in COVID. You couldn't really go anywhere, but
Mhm.
I was online shopping all the time,
Mhm.
like always online shopping.
Yeah.
And people always, where'd you get your jeans from? Where'd you get that top from? Where'd you get this? And I'm always saying, like, oh, Pretty Little Thing,
Yeah.
Fashion Nova, Zara, Amazon, whatever. And I'm like, wait, why am I not, like, why didn't I start my own business
Yeah.
yet? Like, why am I not selling these clothes?
Yeah.
So my background, like nobody in my family has a business.
Mhm.
Like everyone
Like
works a nine to
works.
five,
Yeah.
and that's just how I grew up,
Mhm.
watching everyone work a 9 to 5. And I'm like, okay, so how do I start? I went on YouTube and I just looked it up, and
Like all of
every day,
us.
yeah,
They're like how to start
no,
a
literally
boutique.
how to start a boutique. And I just would watch videos. Everyone has a different style of what they do, and I didn't necessarily get my like style from, like I had to do that part, but like actually starting, like I have an LLC, so actually
Mhm.
starting my LLC,
Mhm.
making sure that what I was doing was legal, because the IRS will come after you, girl.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That side's
um,
like a whole different beast, I feel like.
right. So like all of that, I had no idea, and I just Googled it
Mhm.
and I watched videos, and it took me months to actually like get it down,
Mhm.
which probably could take less time, but
No, but
I
it's like everyone has their own, you'll go your own pace, I think, right? You're
exactly.
like, wait,
So,
so am I sure I want to do it? Like, how do I do it? The
yeah.
steps?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so once I like got into like the legal aspects of it, then I was like, okay, now this is like the exciting part, like I get to shop. And at first I went crazy. Like I just was like, oh, I'm going to buy this, 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 and I got so excited.
Mm-hmm.
And I still have some of those pieces from my
From the
first drop,
beginning?
because I thought like I could
Or you
buy.
buy it and you're like, this will sell so fast.
Yeah, okay, let me tell you. No, I did really, like, I dropped, there's like so many different things that happened, but people did support me,
Yeah.
and this is like a whole nother topic maybe we can get into in a little bit, but yeah, like I just was so excited to start, and so I just kind of found my own way, and yeah, here I am.
you keep going. You just keep going
Yes.
until who knows when. I mean, I'm on my second business, so sometimes you're just like you outgrow it.
Right,
But I think as
right.
long as you still have the vision, you just gotta keep going.
And I think that's a big thing
Yeah.
is like being consistent and like sticking to the vision, because there's been plenty of times where I'm like, oh, this person isn't gonna wear this, and it's like, okay, well, that person isn't meant to shop here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was buying things because like a certain person couldn't wear my clothes. Not couldn't, but that wasn't their style.
Yeah,
or
you want to like fit. You want to fit
I wanna-
everyone's style.
right. But then I'm like, that's not my vision. It's like the girl. Literally, I say the girls that get it wear Miss Eye Candy
Mhm.
Boutique. Like that's like
Mhm.
my slogan, because
Mhm.
it's true. Like if you get it, you get it.
It's like, yeah, it's like we were saying, if it's your style, then you just know, like, oh, like her clothes. You're not like, ooh, what the hell's that? You're
Yeah,
just like, ooh,
like, what
her
is she
clothes are
wearing?
cute.
Yeah.
No,
Right.
that makes a lot of sense. So I know you said growing up, like your family worked like 9 to 5 and stuff
Mhm.
like that. So like when you got started in your business, or maybe I should say like when you were growing up and you decided like, oh, I want to do a business, did you also have other goals besides that before like your business idea came up?
So I was in college. So COVID hit, and I was at a community college, and we went online.
Mm-hmm.
And I could have like, me personally, I don't feel like you need to go to college, because everything that I've learned in life has
On your
come
own.
from books, YouTube, podcasts. Like I've gone and found that information for myself.
Mhm.
Don't get me wrong, education is great if
Yeah.
you're looking to work that 9 to 5 or whatever.
Yeah.
I just personally don't think you need it. I think you can learn on your own. But anyways, I was going to college. I was in community college, and my dad's dream was for me to graduate from university.
Oh.
So, me still starting my business, knowing that like I don't need my education because I'm not even going to use it. I still went. So, if I didn't start my business, I would probably do something with my degree,
Yeah.
and I probably wouldn't be happy because
Well, no, I want to say nobody is, because people are, but I feel like the people that, I don't know, I think there's a part of it because I also went to college and I'm not using it, obviously.
yeah.
I totally went a different route, but I feel like you kind of convince yourself because you're just like, I paid money for this,
I need to
especially like,
use it.
yeah,
Mhm.
especially like your dad. Like, you know, there's some people who are not okay with like disappointing with their parents in any way.
Right.
So then they're like, oh, but my dad or my mom wanted this for me, or like, you know, like especially like I feel like medical people are like that, like, oh, my dad was a nurse or my mom was a nurse,
So I want to be a nurse.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then they're
And
just
I
like,
get,
oh, it's my dream because it's my mom's dream.
yeah. And I get like the medical field. Like if you want to be a nurse, like
Yeah.
of course you have to go to school to be a nurse. Like I get
It's
that.
a lot of school too.
Right. I have friends, actually all of my friends are in healthcare. I'm the only one that is not.
Outside.
And I'm like, hey guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no, and I shouldn't say that if I didn't start my business, I would be unhappy working a 9 to 5 or whatever, because maybe I would have a different route in life. I
Yeah.
don't know. But yeah, so I was like conditioned, like, okay, you're gonna go to college, you're gonna get a good 9 to 5, you're gonna work in corporate America, and you're gonna that's just gonna
grow
be
here.
it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, so once COVID hit and I was online, I'm like, okay, I've literally like my whole life has been spent sitting in a classroom.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I'm finishing college, I'm doing this online. I'm going to be on my own time, not their time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I actually just graduated from a university this year. So I finished college, but
that's so cool.
Not using my degree. Thank you.
I mean, that's still cool though.
Yeah.
You have that. And like, if you decided ever you want to take a break or whatever and like experiment and like explore that side of it, that's cool because you still have that.
Yeah, it's a good cushion to have.
Yeah.
Like that is for, and I mean, my dad's so happy. But yeah, so that's how like I grew up, and I'm the only one in my family to really like, you know, go off the beaten path.
Yeah.
And everyone's super supportive. My dad, love him to death. He literally, so I do a lot of pop-up shops. He like packs the car for me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it helps me unpack because nobody tells you. You see the pop-up set up, but
You see it all
somebody
cute.
somebody had to set that up.
And that shit's heavy. I think when I did have my makeup business before this, and I did a couple of them, I only did like 4 maybe.
Right.
Because it was a lot of work. And I was like, if I don't, the first one I did was at the OC Fairgrounds.
Okay.
So I had taken my dad's truck, his big ass truck, and I packed it all myself because everyone, I don't know where everyone was at. They were gone.
You're like, I have to do this by
my dad's
myself.
like, I'll leave you the truck. So I'm like, cool. So I packed all the stuff. I drove there. I was terrified to drive the truck. And then parking sometimes, or like parking up to offload, that's already like a pain in the ass because you have to figure out where you're going to offload all your crap.
Right.
Like, where are you going to park it?
And everyone's trying to unpack. It's like a lot.
That was the reality check.
At the same time. It's like,
people are like staring at you if you're going to get out of the way. Yeah. You're like, I want to take my stuff off too. So it was just like a whole shock for me. I was like, I don't know if I can do this by myself. Yeah. So at least you have help with like, you know, people, they're supportive and stuff like that.
No, my family is very supportive. In the beginning, I would always ask like my mom or somebody to come with me because I'm like, it's a lot. It's long days. I would drive from San Diego to LA to do pop-up shops because San Diego's not super big in like fashion and whatever.
I think it's like barely getting there.
Yeah, if that.
Yeah. So. I was going to say, because there's sometimes events there, but it's not like a huge, kind of like in Orange County or like LA.
Yes. So, yeah, I would have to drive. And then I just one day was like, you know what? I'm going to just do this. And I started doing it by myself. And I would just go to the pop-ups by myself. I'd set up. And yeah, it's nice to have support for sure.
I think you need it. But unfortunately, like sometimes I've talked to people who have their own businesses, or even who like have gone off to do something that their family wasn't expecting, and they're just like, oh, like nobody gets it. They're just like, you know, especially like business owners, it's just kind of like, well, my family didn't really understand it, so they don't understand how much work goes into it, and they just think like I'm wasting my time.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And that's when it's important to like stick. Like there's going to be a lot of outside noise, and for me too, like that's what I want to do. And maybe not everybody agrees with what I'm doing, but it's my dream, my vision. Yeah. And not everyone's going to understand your vision. And that's just, I mean, that's anything in life.
Yeah, no,
you can't ask for everyone's approval.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's people like, I feel like too, a lot of estheticians who have gone off on their own. I think like in our industry, there's a lot of them who have told me that like their longtime friends don't support their business. Like they'll be like, oh, I have so many friends that I thought like when I started they'd be like so supportive, and then turns out like they're like, I don't even talk to them. They never even come in. Like they haven't posted my business and stuff like that. So I feel like that's important when you have friends and family who are like
supportive.
Like no matter what you're doing, I'm just gonna like
I'm
support
there.
Whatever. Yeah, like you just let me know.
Yeah, I have like an amazing friend group, and
I know you guys are all so pretty. I'm like, dang, I want to be friends with them. No, you guys look like you're so like we're united.
We're literally like, those are my sisters. Yeah. We are all supportive of each other. Like I just started. I have a business, and then my one of my friends has a business, and you know, we all try to just support each other. But the support that they have shown me, like they show up to every pop-up shop.
Yeah, that is so sweet. That is so sweet.
They take my pictures. They do like, I mean, above and beyond, and I'm so grateful for it because doing it by myself, it's
like
a lot.
Impossible. Yeah, you can't really. It takes so much time. Like you can't be everything. You can only do so much, and then whatever you can't do, then I feel like you feel like you're slacking or you're falling off. Right. You know, so that's so cool. It's like you have your own little team.
Yeah, it's amazing. I love it.
That's nice. So now that you have been in business for a couple years, because you've had your business for how many years now?
I just celebrated 2 years.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So now that you've been in business for 2 years, do you feel like you've seen a change like in you or like your business, like growth wise?
So I just celebrated 2 years, and I'm for sure still growing. I feel like I've learned a lot about myself as well as running a business. And Yeah, there's so much, and it's especially in my industry, it's like fashion is always evolving, so you got to just keep up with
Yeah,
the times.
that's what I was gonna say too, because along with growth, I feel like there's so much change. So, especially for fashion, I feel like it's kind of intimidating because I remember when I started my makeup business, I was kind of looking into like the boutique business, but that was too intimidating for me because I'm like, you have to always be kind of like shopping, I guess, for the next thing. And for you, like, do you feel like that's something that, like, how do you stay motivated to keep new things coming in and not feel like, oh, like this didn't sell or I'm
Right.
not making profit on the stuff that I previously bought? Like, how does that work for you?
So that does happen.
Mm-hmm.
It does happen. I still have pieces, you got to just keep going. You can't just get stuck
Mm-hmm.
on what didn't sell. Um so yeah, when something like starts to not sell, I put it on sale. But that is like the hardest part is, okay, I just spent money on this, it's not selling, but
Mm-hmm.
this just came out. I got to
Mm-hmm.
keep up with this trend. Christmas is coming up. Like I'm actually working right now on my holiday collection. So it's all you're just always basically looking at the next season,
Yeah. You're always planning for what's
Right.
about to come.
Right.
And then like so when it comes to let's say like you're out of like not you're out of season, but like you're well, I guess it would be out of season because the summer clothes wouldn't really sell that well in the colder temperatures. But when it comes to that, for anyone who is looking to open their own boutique or like
Mhm.
needs tips and stuff like that, what are like things that you can recommend for anyone who doesn't really know how inventory and stuff like that should work? Because when I learned about business, it was actually from a girl. You've probably seen her boutique. It's called Gia Monet. She's from Riverside, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's the one before she like grew so big. She's the one
Does
who
she have a
told me.
YouTube?
Yeah,
Okay, I
she
think I've seen
told
her
me
videos
she
before.
had a store here in Temecula. So
Okay.
I had met her a couple times, and then not like personally knew her, but she knew that like I followed her.
Right.
So we would message every now and then, and I remember asking her, like, what would you recommend for me to start my with? That was for my makeup. And so she kind of pointed me into the right direction. But
Mhm.
from her perspective, she's like, but I do clothes. So it would be a little different. So, like,
Right.
from your perspective, for anyone who's looking to open like a similar business to
Mhm.
yours, when it comes to like planning on inventory or like getting ideas for new pieces, like, what are things that you look at?
I mean, I think it's different for everybody. So for me, I do unique pieces, staple
Mm-hmm.
pieces. So yes, I look at season, but I live in San Diego. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't really get seasons, but
Yeah.
I think it's important to whatever your vision is. So for me, unique pieces,
Mm-hmm.
like I'm always looking at like the new fashion trends. Like for me, I go on Instagram a lot and I get like that's where like my creative juices start
Mm-hmm.
flowing when I see other people's
Mm-hmm. What they're
outfits.
wearing.
And right, so that's how I kind of base my inventory off of, like what's popular right now.
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing like activewear or like I don't know, there's so many different like boho or whatever.
Yeah.
I think you would have to obviously follow more of
Those.
that style
Okay.
than just going for, I don't know, whatever. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like your store has to have a vision
Okay.
and you have to I've gone off the path of my vision and it didn't go well.
Yeah.
Like, those things didn't sell because that's not what I was.
Do you catch yourself, or is that something that you realize once you kind of like feel like you messed up? Or is that something that you're like, I'm going to try something different and switch it up a little bit?
So, when I first started, I literally remember the drop. And I thought it was like the cutest thing. Okay, let me backtrack. They're cute pieces. And I thought what I was doing was like good.
Yeah.
Like I was like, this is gonna be so cute. Like people are gonna love it. It was not my vision. It was like boho.
Oh.
And I'm like, I don't sell boho
Yeah.
things. And I mean it sold eventually, but it didn't go with what I was doing.
Mhm.
And that's like one drop that I'm like, okay, why did I do that?
Yeah.
what I learned from it. And even if it's not the season, I've learned that like I can style things to be, so for example, my skirt right now, it's cold obviously, but like I wore this in New York last year in like January, so it was really cold. I just put like tights under it.
Yeah.
And I styled it for winter, but when you look at a skirt, you automatically think like summer.
Yeah, you're
fall.
like, oh, I can't wear that. Or like you shove it away and then you're
Right.
just like,
So you have to get creative. And so something that I want to jump into in my next business venture is going to be styling. Because I want people to understand that like just because you wore that piece once doesn't mean you can't reuse it and wear it again.
I think too, like we don't have like exactly the same style, but we kind of have like similar likes in like the way we dress and stuff. But I feel like with like our type of style, it's kind of like you throw something on and then you're like, you put it away and you just pull something new out.
Right.
Because you want it to look, well, for me, when I wear stuff, I hate like double wearing
where
it's
same
noticeable.
Outfit.
Yeah. So like I don't want to wear the dress that I wore to like last year's whatever Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you're gonna
and then wear it to like someone's baby shower because I'm like I already wore that. You know what I mean?
You guys saw me in that.
Yeah, like everyone saw me in that. So that's cool that you are able to get creative like that because sometimes I don't. I'm just like
let me tell you, girl, I was that girl. You know how much money I've spent and given away clothes because I wear it once and I'm done.
Yeah.
And I recently, within the last like 2 years, stopped shopping. I'm like, I have so much clothes. My closet's overflowing. I have a boutique. Like, this is ridiculous. I started just repurposing outfits and I have so much fun with it.
Yeah.
Because you get creative.
Cool. Yeah. Now you're playing dress up and you're just kind of like switching stuff up.
Right.
Instead of just like getting dressed. You know
exactly. I mean? Yeah. So it's for sure fun. It's definitely a like creative outlet for me. Yeah, I love it. I don't know.
No, that's good. That's good. Your style is definitely, I feel like you, and when you look, and I look at your Instagram pictures, I'm like, oh my God, like I would have never thought of putting the outfit together. And it looks cute.
Thank you. Yeah.
There's certain things that I'm just like, that's super cute. I should wear something like that. And like I have stuff similar, but I would never think of putting
it together.
Yeah, like I should wear boots with this or like I should wear, whatever. But no, I don't have that creative spark sometimes. So
that's why I'm like, I want to get into styling because I'm like, the girls have the clothes. No, you guys just need to put it together.
That would be so cool to get into that. Have you had like any kind of experimenting with it, like with people or not yet?
Not yet. In the works. Yeah. In the works.
That's good. That's good. At least you have a plan and like something to look forward to. That's good. So, I mean, aside from like all of the fun business stuff, do you feel like you ever get like you want to not quit but like you want to throw in the towel for a little bit, or do you just feel like you just keep going?
I get in creative ruts and I'm like, what should I drop? What, you know what I mean? Sometimes I'm like, I shop and I shop and I shop and I can't find like my vision that what I'm looking for, and it's frustrating, but I've actually never really stopped.
Yeah.
I've always like kept going.
You just keep going.
There's times where like social media, I'm not super present, but I wouldn't say I've ever like thrown in the towel.
That's good.
I'm super passionate about it and like I want it to grow into something bigger than like what I can see now. So yeah, I really just like, I try to be consistent. It's hard.
No, that's
for sure.
Really hard. Yeah.
And I feel like these days, like social media can be super toxic, and I've like wanted to delete my Instagram so many times, but I'm like, this is like, I need to post.
Do you ever feel like that? Like, because I feel when sometimes I'm thinking of taking a break from social media personally, but I know that it kind of connects and intertwines with like a business aspect side of it that you can't just like get off of Instagram, because I feel like people are like, oh, what, like they just forget about you, I feel like.
Yeah.
And I'm scared of that happening. So it kind of sucks, I think, when you're a business owner and you're just over social media, but you kind of have no choice.
Right. So in the beginning of the year, I wanted to delete social media as a whole. And I'm like, okay, that's not realistic. Like my business is on here. I need to keep posting. I'm sure like I could get by with like
just being present, like in your
and like, you know, I do my pop-ups, whatever. Like I probably could have got by, but I'm like, that's not like, no, like I need to be present on social media too. So I deleted my personal Instagram and I was just on my business pages. And I was super present in my business.
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of times on like our personal social, like I find myself scrolling and
For
I'm
like
like,
an hour.
I don't even like,
You're
what?
looking at so and so's baby
I'm like,
shower.
girl, I haven't seen you in like 10 years.
Yeah.
Like,
Why do I know who
care?
your grandma is
Yeah.
now? No. I feel like that's with me, that's what happens. And then sometimes I'm like, I just want to get off. Or you start to compare yourself. Like that happens to me. I don't know if you ever feel like that.
Yes. So I think comparison is a big thing. I've seen girls grow their businesses in a year, and I've seen girls say it takes them 10 years.
Exactly.
And I'm on my 3rd year, and I don't find myself comparing my, like, I wouldn't say like, oh, like she has that, I don't have this. More so just like
the growth part.
Yeah, okay, like I know it's coming. I know it's coming. I know it's coming, but like when?
Yeah.
You know?
No, and then people will tell you, like, I remember when I first started, people would tell you, like, way back when I first started my makeup, they'd be like, oh, just be consistent and like it'll happen.
Yeah.
And I'd see it happen for like other people, or you see that happen, especially people that you like grew from the beginning with and you kind of like see their growth. And you're just like, well, why is it happening? But I guess it's just everyone's different, you know, like everyone's circle is different. Everyone has a different kind of like a head start. You know what I mean? Like everyone just has their own different journey. So
and you know, somebody could have you never really know how they started, and you don't you don't really know because social media is so deceiving.
Oh gosh, yeah, girl.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're like, are you really this way?
Yeah, literally. I just feel like you have to really just stick. Like I know I've said this so many times, but it's really like stick to your vision. Like what you're doing is not what they're doing. Even if you're doing in the same industry, like what I'm doing is not the same as what she's doing or what he's doing or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's specifically what I feel like is a huge thing, because you know how people will say, especially with boutiques and stuff, they'll say like, oh, it's so oversaturated. Right. Or they're like, especially for my industry now, like, oh, it's so oversaturated. Like there's so many estheticians, but it's like you're saying, nobody has the same look. Nobody has the same exact, unless they're copying you, but it still can be the same because it's yours.
Yeah.
But, and then that's one thing I feel like a lot of people also are, I feel like I've had my little season of that where you feel like you can kind of tell when people are kind of trying to like copy or like throw little steals at you, and they're like taking things that you've previously said or like you post, and then it feels like, well, what about me? Like I had the idea first and now I can't do it because now you're just like,
you did it.
Well, for me, I don't want to say I hate, but I don't like being like exactly similar to someone else. Like I want to be, I don't want to like, you know, if everyone's trending with like certain things, I'm like, I want to be different.
Yeah, I want to do
or
something
switch
different.
it up. Yeah. So I feel like that's a huge thing. Like, do you ever feel like, or you've noticed other businesses like ever take like little ideas or creativity from you?
No, I mean, yes and no. I've never, not like a, I don't want to word this wrong, but I don't feel like anybody has like taken my idea. I've had people come and ask me for like help in like how I started. And for me, I feel like I inspired you.
Yeah.
Like you're doing that because you saw me do it and now you want to do it. So now
you want to do it. Yeah.
Like I don't look at it as like, oh, you're copying me. It's like I clearly like impacted you to do that.
Yeah. So you like they took it and actually did something with it.
Right. Like because so I wouldn't say like there's nobody copying me, and anybody can really start anything, but like if I did something and then you did something right after, it's like I inspired you to do that.
You're like, thank you.
Literally. So I don't ever take it as a bad thing. Like
that's good, because it's like that. I feel like in any industry, you're just kind of like,
you can't.
And
be
I've heard that from people. They'll tell me, like, especially estheticians are like, oh, like I posted this or I started doing this, and like so and so started doing this.
Yeah.
You know, and then it kind of just seems like, well, I see it like that too. I'm like, well, at least you were cool enough, or she thought you were like, she thought you were doing something enough to like do it herself.
Yeah. You just, I feel like, I don't know, girls are girls, and
I feel like you're either supportive or you're like in that group, and that group's not fun. It just makes it it just makes it like uninviting. You don't want to hang out or like
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I choose to be the girl that's like, I inspired you, and I
Mhm.
hope you do well, and I hope I do well, and that's that.
You're like,
There's-
let's just make money.
yeah, like there's no competition. We're doing
Yeah.
like, even if we're in the same industry, we're doing two different things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
So-
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Like it's definitely something that I hear a lot. So because when I meet girls who are like their own, you know, I have other girls who come in who are like hairstylists or whatever.
Yeah.
And some of them have told me that, like, oh, like the girl in the same salon, like, you know, I'm gonna leave because she's like taking my ideas, or like I was doing these extensions and like
And
now
then she
does.
started. Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know. I guess sometimes there's a thin line, maybe, because then she'll be like, we never liked each other, you know. So it's like that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, sometimes maybe it is that, but at the same time, also they're doing it for a reason, because they, even if it's jealousy, they like what you're doing. So that's why they're doing it.
You
But
inspired them.
yeah, and
Yeah.
that's what I don't like that. I don't like that whole like competitive
Mean
or
girl.
yeah, mean girl community type of stuff. I feel like that's so
Yeah.
old.
I've actually like never met anybody, because when we go to like pop-ups and stuff, like most of the time people talk, or like other vendors will come, like everyone
They're like supportive.
yeah, everyone I've met has been so nice, and I've never run into like a mean girl vibe. Yeah, it's honestly, I've had a great experience.
Yeah. Especially the pop-ups. I did notice that when I was doing them. A lot of people, I feel like you're like in a humble, vulnerable state, because you're just like,
yeah,
you're just like, I'm either going to make money or I'm here for nothing. So everyone's on the same boat, you
right.
know?
Everyone's there doing. Yeah, I mean, we're all on the same page. We're all in the same space. Yeah, we're all just trying to make it.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's hard to see that, but I'm glad that, you know, like you're actually, you know, because some people don't see it that way, or they'll be like, oh, like, you know, maybe she doesn't like me, or maybe, you know, like they're just so oblivious to it. I feel like I'm aware of it, and some people are aware of it, like, you know, you are, but you just choose to take like the nice route.
Right.
And
I'm just like, it's so much more energy to be mean and jealous, and like, just be happy.
yeah, seriously.
Like,
let's just like love each other.
yeah, I just like, I don't understand it, but I'm a girl's girl. Like,
Yeah.
I through and through.
No,
There's
I
no
can
room
tell,
for that. Yeah.
You literally drove far to just do this podcast that who knew if it was even gonna work.
No, I was saying, I'm like, okay, if I started a podcast, like, I would hope that somebody would be excited to be on my podcast.
You
like,
know how many people I've asked to, and they're like,
oh, yeah, I'll do it,
like,
and then
I'm
don't
so
come.
busy, yeah, like I'll let you know. Or
Yeah.
they'll like have time and then they back out because they're like, I'm kind of like scared, like I'm embarrassed, I don't want to.
No, this is my first time talking on the camera.
I've had some people tell me like, I'm so scared to talk on a microphone, but like I'll let you know when I'm ready. So I'm like, okay.
And I get it. And this is my first time.
Yeah.
And
it's just a little microphone in your hand.
no, I literally feel like we're just having a conversation,
and
it's just us, and like there's two cameras, and I did have a cough attack, but like I'm still here.
So I know you were saying that you plan on moving to Texas.
Yes.
So that's exciting. What like prompted or like kind of sparked that?
So I have always wanted to move, and I thought college would be like my like, okay, I'm gonna go to college out of state and it's gonna be great, but I didn't do that. So then I would just like always would search like in different cities, like, oh, I'm gonna, you know, I would look up apartments, I would look at which city
on Zillow, looking at all the
I'm gonna buy a house.
Yeah, you wish you could live in.
Yeah,
the high rise.
Literally. So I've been doing that for years, and I would tell my friends all the time, like, oh, I want to move, I want to move, I want to move. And finally, like, I just graduated the beginning of the year, and I feel so free. I'm like, I never have to go back to school again.
Yeah.
This is amazing. I was like, I'm just gonna move.
Yeah.
And I chose Dallas, Texas.
Nice.
And don't ask me why Dallas, Texas, because I just feel drawn there. I don't know. I feel like Miss Eye Candy is gonna flourish there. I also have a spray tanning business, Tan Angels San Diego, and I feel like that is going to flourish there. I'm just ready for all the new ventures. Yeah. I don't know anybody, so if you're in Dallas, hey, be my friend.
I know. So I actually have like I can see where they listen from, and there's some in Texas, and I'm like, I wonder how they found it.
Yeah.
You're like, how do you find me? But that's cool. Maybe they'll, maybe there's someone in Dallas listening to you. So.
Yeah, and they could be my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I've been visiting the past couple months, and yeah, it's gonna be a new venture.
So with your tanning business, I know you said
Mhm.
you have somebody who like is kind of like partnered with you.
Yeah.
Are you guys gonna split the business and like she do it here and then you there?
Yeah,
or-
so we're not really sure about that yet because she also might move to Dallas.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, it
Like
might,
eventually.
like the same time.
Oh, okay,
So,
okay, okay.
yeah, it's kind of in the
air.
yeah. We're just it's a waiting game right now, but yeah, it'll be easy to just separate
Yeah.
and
That's good though. Even if you guys
we just
did
kind of like
separate.
share like a name.
Okay.
And she has her clients, I have my clients.
Okay.
It's not like anything crazy that it would be like
hectic. Oh yeah. So you guys you have your own like equipment and
I have my own equipment.
Okay.
She has her own
That's
equipment.
nice.
We just kind of like do it together.
Yeah.
Like if I have a client and I can't tan them, she'll tan them.
Oh,
if she has a client, yeah, we tan each other.
That's super cool.
Yeah. So it's like we're just like little buddies doing the same thing. Yeah.
No, that's nice. And then so like in Texas, do you have like anything established yet? Like are you gonna move into an apartment? Are you gonna move to the city?
I'm moving into an apartment. I'm actually waiting for it to open up because we're in November and I'm moving in January. So I still have a little time.
It goes by so fast.
I know. I feel like I was just there.
Yeah.
And it's been like 2 months. I'm so excited though.
That's exciting.
It's like a fresh start, a new venture.
You get to like start from a clean slate, meet new people. I'm excited for my friends to come visit me. It's gonna be fun to show them a new city. Yeah.
But yeah.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because I'm starting my business basically. I mean, obviously I'm online, so like you can order from anywhere, but getting my name out there
is a new start.
Right.
Yeah. And then for your future vision, now that you will be in a different state, do you think that you would take some time to open a boutique, or do you think that's like way far out in the future?
I don't see it being super far out in the future. That is something that I would love to do. Boutique.
I think it's cheaper there too, like storefronts and stuff.
Oh, of course, yeah. Everything is cheaper in Texas. Well, actually, a lot of people are moving to Texas.
Yeah, so it might
be a little expensive soon, but no, I'm excited. That is a goal of mine to open a storefront. I would love it. And then have tanning in the back.
Yeah.
So
nice.
to be able to do both. Yeah.
Just have it all in house.
Right. Right. One-stop shop.
That's good. Well, I think other than, your business sounds like it's doing so well and like you're so passionate. I can tell like it's gonna grow. It's gonna be like so big.
Yeah, I'm really just like that's like my goal right now is just like growing.
Yeah, I can see
finding the girls that get it.
Yeah, exactly. So overall, what advice can you give to somebody who's listening or watching and who's like, oh, like I wish I could open a boutique, and like they just don't know what to do?
Yeah, honestly, any business, boutique, not boutique, whatever you want to do, go for it. I'm like so passionate about like doing what you want to do because there is a way. You might not have the funds for it, but there's ways to get the fund. You know what I'm saying? Like there is a way to, if you have a dream, go after it.
Yeah.
Like life is so short and I was just talking to my friend about this morning. It's so easy to get caught up in like the 9-to-5 life and to just get stuck. But there's so much more out there to offer, and just go do it. Yeah. Why not? What's stopping you? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. I think it's a lot of just fear,
Fear.
And especially like we kind of have similar like starts where my family was kind of just like, oh, you're starting a business, like how cute. Because everyone works there, they have a job, like a career. And I had that route started already before I completely dedicated myself to this, but it's kind of scary because you're just like, well, it kind of even makes you think like, am I wasting my time?
Yeah.
Because you're just like, it's all on you. It's whatever you do, that's where your business is going. If you don't do anything, it's not going anywhere.
Right. It's not going to grow on its own. I think that's also super important is like the success doesn't happen overnight. And this is not easy. I'm like, it's not easy. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So just because it's not an easy start and you might not be successful overnight, well, you will not be successful overnight.
Yeah,
Like, that's not,
yeah.
you have to work towards it. But it's like, if you're working towards other things, why can't you work for a dream that you have?
Exactly. Yeah. That's how I see it. Like,
Yeah.
I always used to tell myself that when I had the goal, and not the whole plan, the goal.
Yeah.
Like, if I can work for someone else and come and like bust my ass and not want to be here, like, I should be able to do it for myself, you know?
Literally, like,
of course you do it because your check is guaranteed, but like,
but that's the thing is, like, everybody, we pour into other people's businesses. Sorry, that's my
okay.
phone. We pour into other people's businesses, and it's like, you can pour that same energy into yourself and grow something for yourself.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think everyone should just go after their dreams, whatever that is.
Just do it.
Just do it.
With whatever you got.
Yeah.
I always tell people that.
It's going to be hard starting it, and it's also going to be hard settling for less.
Yeah.
Choose your heart.
Yeah, exactly. You only have one life. So,
yeah.
I always try to tell people that. Because people will be like, I always feel bad because when I have like clients on the table and stuff, you know, you hear so many things. I see so many faces and stuff. So, there will be like a lot of younger girls who ask me, and they're like, how did you start your business? And then it just like reminds me of me because I used to be so interested,
like curious.
Yeah, like when I see like, especially even just like the, you know, like the hairstylist you go to, because a lot of them, like the girl that I used to go to before I started my business, she had like a nice car and stuff. So I'd be like, how did she start? Yeah, like, and I never wanted to do hair, but I'd ask her like, you know, like what made you want to like start your business and stuff. And it was just little things like that. I would just like pick people's brain. Like,
also, I was gonna say that is like a really big thing, is like picking people's brain, because you never know who you're talking to, what they have to offer, what information they have to give you. Like,
yeah, really, or like, where they're like willing to help you out, because some people I feel like are scared to ask. Yeah, you know, like some people are scared to talk, and I'm like, you have to talk to people. Like, yeah, you know, there's so many. I used to be like that, shy, but you have to be able to like just talk. You like, we're all human, you know. Yeah. And there's some people who are like rude and like witchy about it, but then there's people that you never expect to be so like helpful and willing to like point you into the right direction.
The right people are gonna have, you know, an impact.
Yeah, exactly. I think, yeah. And some of them will even stick around to like see how you're doing, but there's people that, you know, you'll ask for advice and then you kind of notice that maybe they're busy, but there's some people who are just like, they don't have the time for you. And then there's some people that are like, ask me whenever, like whatever you need, just let me know. Yeah. And a lot of those people helped me. So
right. And I nowadays you have to like buy the course.
Oh girl, yeah. Take my course.
Taking my course.
Yeah.
But for me, like, I'm not an expert or anything, but like when I saw, so there's a couple girls that had asked me like, oh, how'd you start your business? And I'm like, no, let me tell you, because I had to look all this information up on my own.
Yeah,
and it took me
a long weeks time. And months.
Yeah. So I'm like, no, let me like put you on so that like you're not wasting time. Yeah.
No, that's how it is.
Oh gosh, here we go again. But yeah, so I feel like it's important to just have conversations, ask people questions. Like, who cares?
Yeah, I know. That's how I see it. I'm like, if you look dumb, I think it's only to you. And if you look dumb to someone else, then they're obviously not humble enough to see like your hustle, like your passion.
Right.
So I definitely agree with you on that. Like, you need to like pick at what people know and just ask. Like, right, it doesn't hurt to ask. It's either like, yes, I'll help you, or no, like, fuck
what's
off.
The worst thing that happens? They say no.
Exactly.
You're gonna get a lot of no's in your life. So
from everywhere,
literally.
Yeah,
that's just life. But so you might as well go for it and ask the question. Yeah.
Well, I think that wraps it up. I just wanted to kind of like hear from you and see, you know, like your experience in business. And everyone is kind of similar. We're all in the same boat, but we all have different paths and different experiences. So especially with different industries. So I was like really interested in knowing, you know, like as a kind of like because you sell items online and I'm here, I have to be here. So
like present.
Yeah, I have to be present. So it's different, and it's nice to hear a different aspect of what you go through.
Yeah.
So
thank you for having me. Yeah, this was so fun. And I would love to do this again.
Well, we will.
Yes, on any other
We'll
topic.
do another, especially now that you're going to be in Texas. We can do like
Yeah.
a virtual,
A virtual.
and catch up from there and
I
see
love it.
what's going on with you. But
Yeah.
for people who don't know, like, where to find you online, what's your...
Yeah, missicandy.com is my website to shop all my clothing. And then my Instagram is Miss Eye Candy Boutique. Well, all my social media. And if you want to spray tan, Tan Angel San Diego.
Before you move.
Before I move.
Before you
Or
move
in
here.
Texas.
Yeah. So wait, for tanning, are you only in San Diego?
Yeah, I mean,
Are you mobile, or are you just...
I do have a mobile, like I can be
Okay.
mobile, but like I wouldn't drive like
far.
I mean, it would be
Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah, girl. So if you're in San Diego specifically, you know where to get your tan.
I am the tan girl.
Yes. Well, we'll close there, and hopefully our next catch up will be with Emily in Texas.
Yes,
So
I love it.
we'll
Thank
talk
you for
then.
having me.
Yeah.